Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And before I really dive deep in this video, I do just want to make sure that you are all out there protecting yourselves whenever you are digesting content. There has been a big problem going around over on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And I do believe that there's most likely going to be a lot of content creators out there that might not just do a little bit more due diligence, and they might utilize content from this source, which I will be debunking in this video. And I just want you all to be aware that, you know, this is not a trusted source. They have been saying a whole bunch of nonsense. They've been spreading old news just for clicks. And I even said over on Twitter, I feel like ever since the X ad revenue program started, we have seen nothing but engagement farming trash getting posted. This is especially noticeable in the XRP community, and it's sad. The recent BIS document, then we saw the Western Union post. It's all nonsense. Be careful regarding the content you are digesting, and always do your own research regarding any post you are sharing. And yes, a lot of people, including Crypto Eddie, has been really kind of debunking this platform. It's called the CryptoAlert.com, and this is a new account. I've actually looked over it, and you know, even on their website, we have breaking news: Ripple advisor Michael Barr appointed as Federal Reserve's vice chairman by President Biden. First off, this is an ex-Ripple advisor, and this happened over a year ago. And this account is brand new, June 2023. This website came out of nowhere. They're trying to get clicks, and they have been really posting old news. Crypto Eddie did say the CEO of Western Union quoted this article resigned nearly 3 years ago. This news source needed to not be shared or engaged with. And yeah, you know, I do completely agree. It's getting ridiculous. And listen, I know that all of you are, like everyone out there, all of the XRP holders out there, I'm sure that you guys are tired of it, right? Like, we're tired of hearing the same nonsense. We're tired of seeing the same nonsense. Like, even recently, the same platform, and I don't mean to hate on anyone, but I've seen a lot of people from the community sharing it. They recently said XRP taking a share of the derivatives market could instantly send XRP to $1,000. And again, like, this got a ton of views, 87,000 plus views. And listen, this is no hate towards the individual that is posting this. I'm just saying, like, anyone in the community that is posting the CryptoAlert.com website should 100% stop. This is a platform that should not be supported. We should support good news platforms, those that are actually looking out for the community, not ones that are trying to utilize the community as just engagement and monetary purposes, right? It's sickening, it's disgusting, and I really do think that we can do better, especially as a community. I hate to be the one that really has to, you know, talk a little bit about this, but I've seen a few other individuals talking about it as well. XRP Owl, or IOV Owl, sorry, did post a video talking a little bit about this, because listen, we are sharing a lot of this information, and we need to make sure that the information that we are sharing is not only factual, but also we can count on it. This is not factual. This is not a platform that we can trust. It is 100% for clicks and for monetary purposes. Now, also, on a different subject, talking about the change that is at hand right now. Shout out to Subjective Views for this video. And when you see when the central bankers start exchanging digital banknotes amongst themselves seamlessly and instantaneously using DLT, be sure that retail-facing digital currencies will be right around the corner. Check this out.
The fractious original nature of the ECB.
I would disagree with that. I think the ECB and the way it has been constructed is intended for collaboration, for controversies, for debates, but at the end of the day for large consensus. And this is how I have been operating at the ECB. The fact that monetary policy is really European monetary policy is a plus. We are bound by the same currency, the euro. We exchange the same banknotes, maybe digitally one day. But this is what brings us together, and it's part of the culture.
So, of course, as we do really kind of look at what's happening, we know that the world of central banking is changing. And, I do agree with this tweet because for the longest time, I was like, I like the idea of wholesale CBDCs. I don't like the idea of retail CBDCs. But as we really kind of look at this, I do think that we are going to get both of them, right? I do know for a fact that central bankers are experimenting with DLT and crypto, as you guys are probably all aware of. And I do think that's only a matter of time until we start to see the central bankers really starting to exchange digital banknotes, tokenized reserves, things like that. Like, it's all happening, right? And I've talked about this many times. I made multiple posts over on Twitter about this. We will see everything and anything of value being tokenized. We're going to start to see ledgers being the crucial piece around this as well. It's also why I say the XRP ledger is something to look forward to in terms of the magnitude amount of volume and value that will be tied behind it. I'm very excited for the future around seamless transactions through instant settlement, because there's a lot of value tied to that. It's a huge innovation, and we are on the cusp of a massive transformation. And one of those transformations is the possibility of Bretton Woods 3. We do see over here from Megan. She's posting this video again of the ECB president herself, Christine Lagarde, same individual from this video. And we do see adjust, change, improve. Landscape is shifting due to geopolitical or economic shifts from west to east BRICS. Part of it driven by new technology. Check this clip out.
Of the setting up of the Bretton Woods institutions. And for those of you who were not there at the time, a few, it was a moment in 1944 where 44 men got together and thought, never again. What kind of institutions and organization can we design together that will be the framework under which financial stability and prosperity will be facilitated? A year later, the United Nations was created. And from the very beginning, actually starting with my own country at the time, it was the first country under program, the IMF has helped countries going through great economic difficulties. And the system over the course of those 75 years has adapted and changed from being the referee of exchange rates between currencies to actually leaving the gold standards in the 70s to reforming in the wake of the great financial crisis. The IMF has adjusted, has evolved. And today, we are probably yet again at a moment when we need to adjust and change and improve. And this is so because the landscape is changing. The landscape is shifting, either due to geopolitical developments or due to economic shifts from west to east, or because of the rise of non-state actors that collect and disseminate data. Part of it is driven by new technologies.
So yeah, I do, I do believe that we are on the cusp of a major move. As we really kind of look at what's going on, as we look at what's happening around the global financial landscape, everything is falling into place around a new revolution. And it's all by design. We've talked about this many times in the past. It's all by design. This is their plan, and it's in place. It's already in motion. Whether or not you believe this, whether or not you've been paying attention, that's totally fine. You don't need to be. I'm not here to force you into looking into what's actually happening. I'm here to tell you that, listen, it's either you see it or you don't. And that's what will separate the new 1% from the 99%. As we see what's going on, and as we see, even around like regulations and what's happening with crypto adoption and acceptance around the world. Everything is moving very fast within this digital scene. We are starting to see the big move from traditional paper documentation and the traditional way of going about things, especially in the financial scene, to a new digitized and tokenized world built upon DLT and blockchain. And again, it's going to harness the power of AI, automation, machine learning, things like that we have been talking about forever. And even Ripple themselves as a company has also been, a major company in talking about and discussing the plan of the Internet of Value that harnesses all of that. And this is what's happening. We also see over here from XRP Darren, he posted this clip. It's almost 4 minutes long. I know it's a little bit longer of a video clip, but we do see it's only a matter of time before it all hits the fan. Gensler is really going to risk his entire career over XRP. The banks, the institutions, they are all watching and waiting. Listen closely to this whole clip. Again, go and follow Darren over on Twitter. He's an absolute gem in the community. Incredible individual, but listen closely to the clip.
You can expand more on the actual law side of it, but I would say as a general sort of indicator, when we look at America, I think what I would do personally when it comes to the crypto market and how it's going to go there, I would just look where the money is going. And if you see the likes of BlackRock and the big names suddenly getting interested in Bitcoin and in crypto as an investment thing, and they want to get a slice of the action, that tells you that there's good times ahead. And now it's always a good time to buy Bitcoin, of course. I mean, Bitcoin sucks. I'm a maxi, I admit. But these things, I would follow the money in the US. That's the most logical thing, because if someone like BlackRock and all the big ones, they're getting in on the action and they'll be happy about the Ripple court case as well. That tells you which direction we're going. But I think you analyzed the court case in detail, so maybe you're better placed there.
Okay, thanks, Frank. I think in reality, the Ripple court ruling is a mixed bag for the crypto industry. And the reason why I say so is because the ruling in itself is split, right? XRP is a security if it's being offered to institutional investor, but XRP is not a security if you offer it to the general public via programmatic sales, or you do internal transfer of XRP to your employees or companies within the same ecosystem. So for now, due to this split ruling, obviously you can imagine there are two sides to the same coin. The Ripple founder, Ripple COO, have publicly announced the ruling as a great victory for the crypto industry, right? And they even gone as far to say that the SEC ruling simply the XRP ruling simply show that the SEC's definition of what constitutes a security is simply too broad, right? And the court is not going to uphold it. But I think let's take two steps back. If you really analyze the court ruling, you will realize that it's actually made at the district court level. And for anyone who knows this, it's the lowest level of court in the US federal system. This also shows that there is absolutely a chance that SEC may just file an appeal and overturn the ruling if it intends to do so. That's one. And secondly, the ruling goes to show that the crux of what SEC is doing is not achieved, i.e. the reason why SEC is trying to mandate registration is because they want to protect investors, but yet the ruling only goes as far to protect institutional investors. Because if you sell it to institutional investors, you got to register, you got to make a whole suite of disclosure. But if you sell it to retail investors, no registration needed. The disclosure then won't be made public to retail investors who will need all this information to arguably make more informed choices in their trade. So I think this is a space that remains to be seen. As to Olga's second part of the question, whether this is going to drive back institutional interest because of the Ripple ruling, my take is, for now, no. And the reason being so is because big banks in the US, such as Bank of America, JP Morgan, they have publicly said that while the ruling is a positive development in the right direction, they will still remain cautious when it comes to managing the risk associated with cryptocurrencies. So I think this is a key takeaway to bear in mind that it's not the be and all ruling yet, and to closely watch this space.
And I do completely agree. Like, listen, there's a lot of issues still around regulations. We do know that XRP has been fully cleared. They can appeal XRP, at least for 2 years, which we do know. They could, of course, appeal on Ripple's side of things, which is probably something that will happen. But nonetheless, as we really kind of look at this, I've said it before, the big banks, big institutions, they're still waiting. They're still waiting on the sidelines. I see so many of you guys out there, and listen, I get it. I understand. I totally feel for you guys with the frustrations. But I want you guys to realize and take a step back how big of an opportunity you have right now in front of you. You are in this space before the big banks, before the big institutions. They're too scared to enter this market. And I want to ask all of you, are you too scared? Are you on their level? Or are you a forward-thinking individual that has done their research, that has seen every single major discussion, every single major document, that has done the research around these documents to come to the realization that, okay, this isn't some random space that had, a $3 trillion market cap 2 years ago. This is a space that the big banks, the big institutions, they all want to be a part of it, but they just don't know how to yet because regulations are still a major obstacle that is holding them out of this market. And I want you guys to realize that they are still waiting there. They're still watching. They're just waiting for the perfect moment. And I want you guys to realize that as a retail investor, for the first time in history, you have the opportunity to front run the big institutions, the big banks. And that is something that should not be overlooked. And as we look at XRP as a digital currency, I know that we see BlackRock talking about Bitcoin. I know that we see a lot of these big banks and institutions talking about Bitcoin, but we all know that that is all nonsense. It's a big distraction while the retail sector is buying into Bitcoin over, BlackRock's nonsense. Guess what? I'm buying XRP. I'm looking at XRP because I do know that XRP is changing the fundamental way to move and settle value. Bitcoin isn't. XRP is, and that is a big deal. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me over on Twitter, as well as join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.